Hello, welcome to India Today SoSouth. This is Maruti Acharya with camera person Sanjay Ponnappa, and today we are here at the office of Squadrone, and we are joined by the CEO of Squadrone, Cyriac Joseph sir. Let's talk to him, understand, especially first of all, congratulations sir for the achievement that Squadrone is recognized by SDIR and also the Uttarakhand Tunnel mission and your role in it. Big congratulations. And this whole drone technology, mining, integration, there are a lot of interesting things that Squadrone is working on. So let's go and have a conversation about it. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us today in this conversation. So, before getting into the details, firstly, I want to know this whole interest towards drones. Where did that start? How? Can you please tell us about that?
Yeah, it is basically I'm a mining engineer. I'm not a drone. I don't come from the aerospace. I come from the domain space. So, and I was always into technology, application of technology. Not only just in just the drone part of it. We used to work 30 years of experience in this sector. And when it comes to technology, the mining is a tough field, and technology, it comes in a bit. We are behind the curve when it comes to technology. But then that has changed now. That has changed, and then technology is being embraced at all levels. In various sectors, in the application, it's from the entire cycle of the mine. That is, it starts from mineral discoveries to mineral production in open pit, underground.
Yeah. So you've told that you've been in this industry for like 30 years. You've seen pre-technology and post-technology. How much of difference do you see in the entire process after integration of technology?
The rate of change. The last 30 years. If you see what happened in the last 30 to 20 years, and 20 to 10 years, 10 to 5 years, and 5 to 2 years, the rate of changes, it's phenomenally different from what happens. So the rate of change is increasing. So with that rate of change, and with technology now handy, earlier, it was very difficult to even reach a technology. Today, you've got everything, any world-class technology. It's reachable. So only thing, you got to have the appetite for that, and then you will have to be, you'll have to have, unless, and you're ready. Today the world is different. The mining industry itself is ready to embrace change. You can see the way, including the Ministry of Mines, the DSIR and IBM and the Indian Bureau of Mines, and the way they changed themselves. They said that you got to bring in technology. They are using. We have to be. I told you, we have to be disruptive. Correct. When it comes to because this challenge, you're running against time. Correct. It's a race against time. So that's where we have seen this rate of change being faster, and I'm very sure the next 1 to 2 years it's going to be even more faster.
Yes, sir. Before in the conversation, you've briefly mentioned about the stages at which you use drone technology or mining. So, correct me if I'm wrong, starting from detection of mine areas, and how, if you can explain me how the goes and where all you use it, will be great.
Okay. Basically, if you look at the mining cycle, so you look at first is mineral discovery. You need to have discovery, right? And then you got the production. And the production can be in two forms. One is in underground, and the other one is open pit. Two. When your minerals are deep seated, you put up shaft and all that, like KGF or KGF mines and Hindustan Zinc and all that. So you do that. And then comes infrastructure development, which you need to put it in place, and then the environment, the mine closure. That's the life cycle of this one. So today, what is happening is we have come to the energy minerals. Green minerals, with this, you have got demand for graphite, lithium, and nickel, and all these various rare earths. So greenfield discoveries is becoming is something which is important. So that's where these. I'll show you some of the equipment which we use, which is called magnetics and and GPR and all that. This was done ground based,
Okay.
and it's very difficult to tough terrains, hilly terrains, very challenging areas, very hostile areas, and our geologists used to go there. So now this is becomes it much more easier. So this goes with the drone and it flies. It's got good range, about 5 to 7 kilometers, and it's not only mapping.
Okay.
It use this technology both for for you can identify straight away identify the targets.
Okay, so the drones have sensors which detect.
Correct.
Okay.
Various sensors which detect various sensors. So now two things. One is by the time earlier was you had to drill and go. Whereas today with this technology you can just go and tell you this is where your targets are.
Okay.
Go drill only that area. Second is your time. What takes 3 to 4 years now you can complete it in about 5 to 6 months if you use a right systems. That's a big pushing it through that, and given the challenge in which the time you're racing against time. So all these technologies will play in handy and it comes into it. And this is the exploration.
Okay.
Now it comes to production, mine production, or the safety. One is productivity, second is economics, third is safety, and then the fourth is the control, the informed decision making. Today, by the time the data comes into place,
Correct.
it's already gone. So whereas here in this case, what happens is you get digital data, you get fast data since it's digital, it's easy to analyze, and you do the analytics, and very quickly you come out with the outputs. So in that case, we got good control on your. So this is technology which is evolving, which is getting deeper into this mining sector. And then we do this for mine planning also. We do this for geological applications. We use for geotechnical applications. So mine safety.
Okay.
Same thing in underground also. I told you we use this radar technology and this digital data. Now this digital sort of data is very good for all these sort of analytics.
Okay.
So it is like it's very, very valuable, and sometimes it looks magical. It's too good for people to believe when they say, "Will it work?" That's what they ask, and then we have to prove it, and then do the POC, and then after that, just when it gets into it. So, and then when it comes to environment, see, earlier days you had to make roads, go through the villages, go through the forests and all that, and then you have to even make these discoveries. So one thing is time consuming, a lot of licensing and all these issues, and then you're disturbing the system. Whereas in this case, you just get into it, you quietly go there and see if it is worth it, then you can build a system. So what is happening is, there is a digital transformation required now.
Okay.
There is a transformation required, which is essential. Not only essential, it is critical. It is and it has to be. What do you say? It has to be. The transformation should be digital. It should be disruptive.
Correct.
And only then you have to be game changers. Otherwise, we can't catch up with the pace at which the demand is going. And then now the government is coming with various initiatives and various policies and to encourage startup into this industry. So you have recently we had the Ministry of Mines coming up with some schemes, and then you got the GSI, you got Geological Survey of India, you got IBM, and you got various other. You got the institutes like IIT Bombay and various other institutes. IIT Bombay we just signed up for this exploration. So for research and development on exploration. So they're all. It's very supportive. It's very supportive. It's looking good.
So but then, do you manufacture these drones like with all the support, or do you integrate it to the drones, or how does that work? Do you?
Okay, what we do is we don't manufacture drones. So we are mainly focusing on the application.
Okay.
So what we do is we get the sensors. We get the sensors, which is most of them are imported, they're sophisticated ones, and then we bring it here, and then we integrate it with the drones. We don't manufacture drones.
Okay.
Now, drone industry in India is evolving.
Correct.
It's evolving. So some of the systems don't, they just don't, you can't, right now you can't directly fit it into the system. So what we do is that's where we do at the R&D here. So we have to Indianize. We got to make it, we got to make it applicable to the focusing on the Indian conditions. Yes, policies are there. You need to live. Everything is not favorable, but then we got to see how to make it happen.
So some kind of jugaad happens in the R&D to Indianize it.
Yeah. Lot of jugaad happens.
Amazing, sir. Amazing. So the Uttarakhand rescue, tunnel rescue operation, it might be a very big deal for you because like you've been part of it. So your journey, how were you part of? What was the mission about? What was your role in it? A little bit about that.
Yeah, and see, actually, we were called on the totally 17 days. The workers, 41 workers were trapped there. We were called on the 8th day, and when we went there, we were we were volunteers. We went as volunteers, and there was a lot of work going on. The Indian Army, the BRO, we have MORTH, and you had the Secretary MORTH sitting there, and then you had people from the PMO. Everybody there. And it's a disaster. It's a disaster, right? And there's no design there. It's everybody has to come with their own, the best what they've got, and then come there. That's when we went with this technology, and particularly the one I can show you that which we use for underground tunnels.
Okay.
So these drones they fly inside the tunnels,
Okay.
and also it gives you the 3D of the areas, and then it also tells you how the convergence happens if there is further
Okay.
it's a collapse, isn't it? So further possibility there. So we have got about 150 rescue people working there. So their safety is also very important.
Correct.
So that's where we were monitoring that. And we were, people ask us, what did you do? Did you go through the pipe and did you pull them out? And we didn't do it. We were just giving them data. So for them to take the right decision. So, and this data should be, one is it should be quick, it should be reliable, and it should be, in the best, easiest, it should be understandable to anybody. So that's where we had various experts, including the experts from Australia. And we were 9 of us there, and then we were very glad that 41 people were saved. 41 or 41. It's one of the greatest rescues in history.
It's one of the biggest rescues of India also. So this is the one that was used in the tunnel rescue Uttarakhand.
This sits on it. Today we don't have our drones have gone to the site for testing.
Okay.
So today we don't have it. So this is handle,
Okay.
or you can put it on a backpack like this. You
Okay.
can just walk. And this goes on a drone.
Okay.
So we fly these drones inside the tunnels. And there are underground stopes. Underground stopes are like, you can't, it's when you mine, you can't enter there because it's very, you can, it's not a safety issue. So there are a lot of this one from, restrictions there. And so mine safety, Director General of Mine Safety has got a lot of restrictions. So this one, what it does is it can sit on a drone and it can fly autonomous.
Okay.
So it goes into the tunnels and it captures all the data and comes back.
Okay.
And this also can work on the surface. It's a radar. It's basically a radar. So it can work on the surface as well. Now the accuracy of this it's very, very precise. We talk about 5 mm. So that's the accuracy of this. Okay. So that's another thing which gives us a lot of confidence. This again is it's called a magnetometer.
Okay.
It's mounted again on a drone, and then with the stunts, it's suspended from a drone like this. Okay. And then from this it goes, and then we fly it along a path.
Okay.
Along a path, and then it tells you what is we identify the mineralized zones.
Okay.
It can be used for mineralization. It can be used for water. Now this is a ground penetrating radar. This again goes on a drone. It sits on a drone. So this is something which it can tell you how the strata up to 100. This can tell you how the strata deep down. It's a technical term called Curie depth.
Okay.
But we talk about 1 to 1.5 kilometers. You can identify how the minerals are. This is which can give you depth about 80 to 100 meters. Okay. This was also used in the Silkyara Tunnel to know the cavity which was formed.
Correct.
So this was used there. Of course, we could not put it on a drone because of various other challenges.
Yeah, guys. So looking at the drones itself, it looks very fancy, and the kind of job you do, it feels nice to be. So you're already around. You're part of this. So how does it feel?
Yeah, definitely. As a mining engineer, I am working in a field. So I work with the big machineries, but not a drone. So I just joined this company for this type of technology. It's a booming technology. So this technology really helpful for them for exploration, for mining technology, by using our artificial intelligence, machine learning. So I think it is very good.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it is a fascinating field. Being a part of it, I'm really grateful. Getting to know things, it's even more better.
It's as everybody knows that this is a very fascinating field. It's an upcoming field, and it's really feels nice to be ahead of the curve right now. Yeah, and this everything is going all well. We are going into tough projects. We are executing tough projects, and as a life experience also it feels good that people talking about this, the Silkyara Tunnel, the tough projects what we have been through, and everything is falling in place. So it feels good when people are asking you what you do, and then you go on explaining them how does it feel to be on the field, and yeah, it's a very interesting, exciting, exhilarating job.
So you enjoy what you're doing here.
Yeah, definitely. The only thing I can say.
So I'm also a mining engineer, and I'm a part of this organization, a STEAM organization actually. There are lots of organizations in the country right now. There are lots of startups. But being a part of a startup which is saving 41 lives right now, internally it's a really proud feeling for me as well as the organization as well. So I'm definitely be happy. We are really pleased and happy that government of India is really looking towards these technologies. How geophysical explorations and everything is booming with these kind of new cutting edge technologies, and definitely happy, and we really feel proud about our organization.
So you are an aviation engineer, right? So what part of it and how it works? Can you please explain us?
So we do the integration and assembling part of the drone. So this is the motor and this is the propeller. So whenever we give the throttle using transmitter, the propeller rotates. So whenever the propellers rotate, it produces a thrust, force called thrust. It is an opposing force. So then that force opposes the gravitational force. That force is called the thrust. No, whenever that force is enough to oppose the gravitational force, then the drone is able to take off.
Correct.
So there are the controls we can use, make use, like throttle, giving the throttle which goes up, and we have the rudder, we have pitch.
Correct.
Yeah, we have a lot of controls. We can control the drone.
A little generic, if we look at the whole drone industry or integration of drones, it has been there like internationally. It's a big thing. It's not a new phenomenon, but it took a very long time for us in India to integrate that, and I still see the resistance, you would say, or it's still not there. Like it's in the journey. So why do you think that is the situation?
I told you the drone industry world over is evolving.
Correct.
Okay. And now India is also a very active player in this industry, and particularly in defense and agriculture, infrastructure, and various other applications. So, in forestry also, I think they're there. So mining, of course, we picked it up. Now there is it's a huge. It's about I think about $3 to $4 billion industry, which we are part of it. So the applications are huge, and now people talking about delivery and all that, even including pizza delivery and whatnot. So it's there in everybody's mind. It is there in right from everywhere. It is there. Now there are challenges with the drone industry. There could be misuse. So like what happened in the Middle East and where attacks and where even in Ukraine.
Correct.
So during the war, a lot of attacks. So those are some of the the aspects which we need to consider. But today there is a very good policy, and there is it's pretty clear for the drone industry, because the DGCA has come out with a policy, and even they have come out with maps where you can fly, where you can't fly. Earlier you had to go through various processes. Today you got a map. You just got to see if you're in a green area. Just got to go and fly. But India is far ahead as compared to the other countries. Let me tell you.
Okay.
So though we are not at there, but we are way ahead of various other countries.
Great to know if that is how India is heading towards. And one more thing, the fact that we are in Bengaluru, and Bengaluru is called the startup capital. So how was it, the journey in Bengaluru with your startup?
So Bengaluru, if you ask me, yeah, we had a good space for ourselves. Number one. Number two is we got a number of NIRM. You got a lot of research institutes here itself in Bangalore. You got National Institute of Rock Mechanics. You got GSI. and you got NITK, you got various other institutes which are here. So that is one part of it. Of course, bringing in people from the mining sector here is definitely a challenge. But then the environment, it's like the environment is like it's bubbling. So that's something which is happening here. So being part of being positioned in Bangalore is one part of it. Second thing is, even we cater to the south of India, and then but then when now we are expanding to the north and east. But today connectivity is not a problem. You got very good roads. We drive on, and most of us we drive down because we have got this sort of equipments which we need to carry. So that way it is looking good. So it's a good place to be.
Last question, sir. So with this technology in future, what do you think? Like you said, in the 2 years it has changed. So where do you see yourself in the next 2 years in this very competitive ecosystem?
See, we got to. The challenges are, in fact, I told you, we are on a race, and your demands are changing. The challenges are getting tougher, right? So you need to be prepared. You have to be updated. You can't fight tomorrow's war with yesterday's weapons, right? So we need to be ready there. So these are all some of the things which we are doing here. It's a tough war, but I see a lot of applications coming into this, and even the government is, they are coming up, they're supporting, they're seeing that, you can't take the traditional route and come. So they are having policies where engage with startups, engage with MSMEs, and bring technology into the system. So with this, this is some of the things which we are looking at. Of course, I told you as a startup, it's a bit uphill, but then we have reached this far. So I think we are very sure that we will successfully take it forward.
First of all, congratulations for this journey till here, and I hope you achieve bigger heights from here on out. Thank you so much, sir. Yes, so that was one business success story with the end note saying it's a long way to go. With camera person Sanjay Punappa, this is Maruti Acharya for India Today SoSouth.